Hi everyone, this is Unsolved Files. What are you guys most afraid of? Being broken or your hysteric girlfriend? Some of you might be afraid of nothing, but every human being should be afraid of this: death. That's why humans have always been trying to invent special solutions that will make them live longer and even make them immortal. Although the lifespan of humans are being extended, there's no way for us to be completely immortal. However, in fact, there are already things that can never die or live much longer than humans in nature. Today, we will learn about mysterious wildlife that won't die and live long. Sea cucumber. Sea cucumbers are the family of the echinoderm and they are bizarre looking. The bumps on their longish bodies lead us to think about bugs. Disgusting looking sea cucumbers are theoretically living organisms that won't die. First of all, figuring out the age of a sea cucumber is impossible. Most organisms have something for us to see how old they are. For example, the annual ring of a tree. But sea cucumbers have nothing to show how old they are. And there's no such thing like aging in their bodies. Sea cucumbers are made of ketch collagen. This matter makes them able to harden or soften their bodies, even vary their body in length. When a predator appears, they can change their bodies smaller so they can hide between rocks or protect themselves by making their bodies longer. A sea cucumber with the length of a finger can become as big as a football. We, humans, don't even know when sea cucumbers die because we can't see how old they are. And since they don't age, and they can adjust their own size, they have even more amazing immortal futures. Sea cucumbers have outstanding capacity to regenerate. Someone cuts a sea cucumber in order to do an experiment and let the two body parts of the sea cucumber stay in the water for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, a shocking thing happened. We can't even recognize where they were cut before, like nothing happened. Sea cucumbers can heal 100%. No matter how and how much they are cut, they are able to heal 100%, even if we take out their entire organs and throw them in the sea. Red sea urchin. The second animal is a weird-looking marine animal like the sea cucumber. It is a red sea urchin. Red sea urchins have sharp needles all around their body, which make them weird-looking. And many of these sea urchins are older than 200 years are being discovered right now. Interestingly, red sea urchins have no sign of aging. They die only when they are hunted by predators. Also, red sea urchins do not stop growing until they die. The largest sea urchin that was found had a diameter of 19 centimeters. Clam. A few years ago, the oldest organism in the world was found by an expert. However, right after the discovery, the organism was killed accidentally. That organism was a clam. The oldest clam that was found was captured in the Sea of Iceland in 2006. But back then, they put this clam into the fridge, not knowing that the clam was that old. After a while, the clam was transferred to the lab and turned out to be 405 years old. As a result, this clam is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records to be the oldest clam in the world. Recently, they recalibrated the age of the clam and they ended up to be 507 years old, which is 100 years older than the previous record. No one knows how old it could be if it was not killed in the fridge. Turritopsis nutricula. Now, I will tell you about an animal that lived for the longest time of all animals in humans' discovery. You might not be surprised that jellyfish can live long, because many surprising abilities of jellyfish were discovered over the past years. However, this particular jellyfish is so much more surprising than you think. This jellyfish is not much different from other animals. They look normal, they eat normal, they behave normal. I can't even tell if there's any difference. However, this jellyfish has a distinctly different capacity of regeneration compared to other jellyfishes. Turritopsis nutricula turn back to polyp stage when they get a specific age and then regrow again. To say it in human language, an old man in his 70s can go back to his 10-year-old boy and then grow back again. Yes, this jellyfish is absolutely immortal. Geneticists and experts in marine biology are studying desperately to find out how this retrogradation can happen. Still, we do not know how this jellyfish can go back to its previous condition. A theory says that the old cells of the jellyfish body could be replaced by new, younger cells. But this theory is not proved yet. This is why Turritopsis nutriculus do not really die until they are preyed by predators. They could even fill the whole ocean if there's no threat from predators. When we disclose their secret, it might be possible for us to live forever. The water bear, or moss piglet. Let's meet an animal that has a better capacity of regeneration and a longer lifespan than a jellyfish. This is the water bear, or moss piglet. This tiny organism with the size of just 1 millimeter is not immortal, but it is almost immortal. It can survive in any inferior circumstance. They were once frozen for 30 years, but still survived with good health after defreezing. Also, people put water bears into minus 193 degrees liquid oxygen, but it still survived. More marvelous is that there was no problem with their health, and their reproductivity was absolutely great as well. The researchers made even more extreme conditions for the water bears. This time, they put water bears into liquid helium gas and lowered it to the temperature of 271 degrees minus. They waited 8 hours and brought them back to room temperature. And guess what? It was alive and in a normal condition. Minus 271 degrees is the lowest temperature that can ever be made by science. So they concluded that water bears cannot be frozen to death. So they wanted to expose them to heat. Of course, not in a temperature that could melt their bodies, but in boiling water for 1 hour. And surprisingly, they were still okay. They realized that temperature is not a problem for them, and they came even with a more scary thing. It was radiation. Humans immediately die when we are exposed to 500 Roentgens. How much can water bears bear? 5,000? 50,000? They were okay with a radiation of 5.7 million Roentgens. I would like to call them as immortal when they can survive with such high amount of radiation. Other than that, they have been under air pressure 6,000 times higher than the normal air pressure, and also survived in vacuum. People took them into space and did other various experiments with their incredible abilities. But they showed even more amazing abilities. It will be very difficult to kill them. Some argue that other planets may have this kind of organism because water bears showed unbelievable abilities. It is not weird since they can survive in high temperatures, high pressure, and even in a vacuum. We have learned about immortal organisms that perform surprising surviving abilities. From sea cucumbers that can resurrect no matter how much it has been cut. A clam that lived longer than our imagination. The water bears who can survive in any condition. There are much more things that live longer than we think in the world, aren't there? I wish researchers could discover more secrets of these animals so that we can live longer too. We will come back with more interesting stories. Thank you so much for watching.